Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome back. Today we're going to do my updated foundation routine specifically for melasma, hyperpigmentation, if you're struggling with dark spots or anything like that. So this is the routine I've been loving. I've been keeping it more simple, so more skin-like. Been using the Maybelline skin tint. Love this stuff. And then just adding in the concealer where you need it. So still loving the e.l.f. camo concealer, the hydrating one. Love Shape Tape. Really love the NYX Bear With Me. And if you have some dark spots and your skin tone is similar to mine at a drugstore price, love the Maybelline Cover Stick. This stuff is under $5 and it works great to conceal any blemishes or really dark areas of your face where you need more of a waxy consistency. All right, so let's go. So the shades are 120 and this one is 220. So I'm gonna give them a good shake. My main areas are on the sides here. And I don't know why, but my face is super red. And I bought the Dyson Airwrap. Finally caved and bought it, and it's really, really good. So I'm just gonna rub some of this on here. It is a bit messy. So I go in first with the 120, and then I'm gonna do a little tiny bit of the 220 over it. It's a little bit darker. I find that the 120 is still a little bit light. This is the best foundation brush ever. It's the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. It is a dome shape, like an angled dome shape, and it's just perfect at applying foundation. It just like evenly puts it on. It doesn't look cakey. It looks very nice. So I'm just gonna blend this in here quickly. And just shears out your foundation and gives a nice even wash of color. And this is actually skin tint. So you can totally do another layer. I think that I'm just gonna leave it with this. This is what I've been doing. So now I'm gonna apply the concealer. I typically just use the same ones over and over again. I like what I like. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Love this one in the shades Light Sand and Medium Sand. I love the Tarte Shape Tape still. Love the NYX Bear With Me. Really good under eye concealer. Love the Maybelline. The Eraser Concealer is really good. And also the Catrice True Skin is good as well. So I'm going to start covering the darker areas and I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. So I just like to kind of rub it on here. And this is more my summer shade, so I'm actually going to mix in a little bit of that lighter Light Sand shade over it. Then we're going to take the Light Sand under the eyes. And anywhere else that you want more coverage, go ahead and add some concealer. Another really good concealer, if you have a skin tone similar to mine, is the Maybelline Cover Stick. This stuff is really good, really creamy, super affordable. It's under $5 and you can just add it on to those darker spots or if you have a blemish and it covers it up really, really nicely. So I'm going to take the BK Beauty, this is the A506 brush, and blend out the concealer under my eyes while I let this dry down a little bit more because I want to get some more coverage in that area. So I'm just going to shear out this concealer. And with concealers, I find that like when I find what I like, I just stick with it. I don't want to be messing around with a bunch of different concealers that I buy and they end up getting all crepey on me, or I just don't like the way they blend. I mean, I'm always down to try, but I like to just stick to what I like for the most part. Then I'm going to take my foundation brush again and just pat and blend in like a circle motion. I'm not swiping, I'm just like stippling so I can get the most coverage on those darker pigmentation areas. What I need is a headband or of not to wear my hair down. Of course, I never do it. And the one time I do it, it's like a mess. So I'm just really blending that concealer in here. Then this way you're just putting coverage down where you need it and you're not caking out your whole face. So this is how we're looking so far. I think all those spots are pretty much covered as most as I want them to be. I still want like a little bit of the freckles and the skin to be peeking through. So for powder, I'm gonna use the NYX finishing powder. I love this stuff, super affordable. I have the more high-end ones. I have the Givenchy, or however you pronounce it, new pink powder. It's great, but I feel like this powder works great, and I've always loved it for more of like a full coverage look, just to brighten up the under eye. And it's just a really good powder. So I'm just gonna press it over where I put the concealer and just let it really set in. And I'm gonna avoid like the blush area because I find that the liquid blushes never go over the powder as nice. Just gonna take my little e.l.f. brush and I just kind of dust off any of the extra powder and just blend it in. So to add more color into my face, I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer. This one is really pigmented. It's the NYX Matte Bronzer from the drugstore. It's kind of like the Hoola bronzer, very similar to that. And I'm just going to dust a little bit around the forehead. The cheekbones, just lift that. Make sure it's nice and blended. So for blush, I'm going to do a combination of Rare Beauty in the shade Hope. So pretty. And then I'm going to do Rose You Slay, the e.l.f. Halo Glow. On top of it, it just gives a really pretty sheen, so then you don't need to use a highlighter. Just going to do a dot on each cheek. In the summer, I do 2, but in the cooler months, I just do 1 because my skin gets so pale and this stuff is so pigmented. And I like to use a little blush brush for this, personally. I think it works way better than a beauty blender. I'm just gonna go right over it with a little bit of this Halo Glow. And just, I draw it on right on the high points of my cheeks and just take the same blush here and blend it. And I just kind of stroke it down. You can see it gives like a really pretty sheen. Put like a little bit on top of my nose. I'm gonna quickly do my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the NYX Brow Glue. This stuff is great. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it out. It's called the Brow Glue and I use dark brown. Taking the Ethereal Eyes by Mario palette and going in with this really pretty like peachy color. I'm gonna keep it like simple but really pretty on the eyes. Just dusting that all over the crease and transition area. Then I'm going to take this really pretty color right here. Normally I like to take a glitter glue because I find that it applies way better, but it's in the other room and I'm being lazy. I don't feel like getting up and getting it. So I'm just going to dust this on with my finger. Actually, it did go on pretty well. Put that in the brow bone. Also going to put a little bit of that glitter in the inner corner. So I'm gonna do my favorite mascara combo that I've been loving lately. It is the Falsies Surreal Mascara, and then I top it with the Tarte Sugar Rush Lash Smoothie. It is so good. I just love it for the lashes lately. So did 2 coats of this one. That's how we're looking. And then I am gonna put the lash smoothie over top. It has like this really nice bristle that really combs and lengthens the lashes. I just love it for like the final touch of elongating the lashes. For lips, I'm gonna go in with Soar by MAC and then E.l.f. This is the new lip oil in the shade Honey Talks. It's a really pretty, like goopy lip oil. Has like a minty flavor with kind of like a little bit of a tingle. And it just makes your lips super shiny. It pairs really well over a liner. I don't like it so much on its own. I love it over a liner. So I'm just gonna do some MAC Fix Plus. Just fan it out, and then I'm gonna do like 2 squirts of All Nighter. And I've been mixing those two together recently because I like the MAC because it just makes your skin come back to life and brings like the sheerness in and gets rid of that powdery look. But then I love this for the staying power. So here is the final look. You can see that most of the hyperpigmentation is covered. This is how I've been liking to wear it. Don't want something like completely covering everything, but I do like that hyperpigmentation to be covered. So this is my go-to makeup look for full coverage. I hope this helps you if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation and melasma, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.